Christmas dinner was supposed to be the happiest night of my life. My daughter had just married the man she loved, and everyone was celebrating around the table. Then she quietly pushed an envelope toward me. Inside was a bill for $50,000. She smiled. "Dad, you're paying for our honeymoon, and I expect it by New Year's." Everyone went silent. I looked at the bill. Then I smiled and reached for the gift I'd brought her. I had spent my entire life believing a father should help his children whenever he could. I paid for my daughter's education, helped her buy her first car. When she met the man who'd become her husband, I welcomed him into our family because I wanted her happy. I never expected anything in return. That Christmas was different. My daughter had recently married, and the whole family had gathered for dinner. The house was full of laughter. Her husband talked about their honeymoon plans, everyone excited about the expensive resort they'd chosen. Then my daughter reached into her handbag and pulled out a white envelope. "Dad," she said, "I need you to take care of this." I opened it and froze. An invoice for $50,000. Luxury resort, private transportation, expensive excursions, a series of upgrades they'd apparently added without asking me. I looked at her and asked why she thought I'd pay for it. She laughed. "Because you're my father and you always take care of me." Then she leaned closer. "I need it paid by New Year's, old man." Nobody at the table laughed. I slowly folded the bill and put it back in the envelope. My daughter thought I was angry. She had no idea what I'd planned. For weeks, I'd been carrying a small gift, meaning to give it to her Christmas night. Not wrapped in expensive paper, not a luxury watch, not jewelry, something far more important. I stood, reached into the cabinet beside the dining room. Everyone watched. My daughter smiled. She thought I was finally about to give her the money. Instead, I placed a small black box on the table. I told her that, before she asked me to pay a $50,000 honeymoon bill, I wanted her to open one final Christmas gift from her father. She opened the box. Her smile disappeared. Inside was a document proving that the small vacation property she'd been bragging about for months was legally hers. It was worth far more than the honeymoon. But there was something else in the box. A second envelope. She opened it with shaking hands. A letter explaining I'd already paid the property taxes and insurance for the next several years. Then she saw the final page. The document that changed everything. I'd transferred the property into her name on one condition. She could keep it only if she stopped treating her family like an unlimited bank account. The room went completely silent. Her husband stared at the documents. My daughter looked at me and asked why I would do this after she'd embarrassed me in front of everyone. "Because I'm not trying to punish you," I told her. "I'm trying to teach you. Love doesn't mean allowing someone to take advantage of you. Generosity doesn't mean accepting disrespect. And being a father doesn't mean becoming an ATM." Then I took the $50,000 honeymoon bill and placed it back in front of her. If she wanted that honeymoon, she could pay for it herself. Her face went pale. She looked at her husband. He looked at the floor. Then my daughter started crying. She finally admitted she'd assumed I'd always pay because I'd never said no to her before. "That was my mistake too," I told her. "I taught you that love meant giving without limits." That night, I didn't give her $50,000. I gave her something more valuable, a lesson she'd remember for the rest of her life. Before everyone left that night, my daughter came back and apologized. She told me she'd confused love with entitlement. I hugged her and told her forgiveness was possible, but respect had to be earned again. The next morning, she canceled the luxury honeymoon and booked a much simpler trip using her own money. Months later, she told me that Christmas changed her life. For the first time, she understood that a gift is something given freely, never something demanded. Sometimes, the strongest gift a parent can give isn't money. It's the courage to finally say no.